Hello everyone, welcome to round 15, I believe, of the Slipstream League Racing Championship. We are here, as soon as I get the full screen on, there we go, we're here at Singapore, ready to go as soon as everybody else is, and that might be a couple of minutes, so just bear with us for just a second. But I'm Incognita, and alongside me eventually, not quite yet, will be Thimo. We're going to have, I think, a full grid here at Singapore, and it's going to be, I think, a lot of fun because it's one of those tracks that, and there's walls everywhere, and it's a street circuit, and as we all know, you got to be alert on a street circuit. Hello, Mr. Bantz. Hello, Mr. Hugos. If Hugos gets points, he'll be happy. Oh, hello, Mr. Cursed as well. XO to you as well. So,
hello.
Hello, Thimo. How you doing?
I'm doing great as every week. And I think I say this every week, but this race could also be an interesting one, because I think you mentioned it while I was away. Street circuits are obviously
you've
quite
got to be alert.
Exciting. Although sometimes, although they don't really promote the best of racing in online races on the game, they tend to be really tense sometimes because one mistake and you're in the wall. And also, an interesting factor that could come into this is the problem many pad users especially have, that the tires tend to overheat really a lot. And some of our top drivers, or top tier drivers, use the pad, so we might get somewhat of a mixed up grid for this race, so it could be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. The tire situation is a really interesting one because, I mean, it is mostly pad users, but it's not exclusively pad users.
Yeah,
it is.
It's bad for everyone, but it's worse for pad users.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, I mean, I was doing some testing earlier this week at Singapore, and yeah, the Hypersoft tires, they do not like this circuit. The front right in particular gets up, well, it got up, for me, it got up above, what, 102, 103, and when I tried on the pad, it got up to like 104. So that's where you seriously start to lose grip. And that's something really to think about. It might be that a couple of our drivers decide that they're not going to be on the Hypers for very long, if at all, at the beginning of the race, and go on to either the super soft or the soft tires instead. And let me just let me just check, because I think the tires oh sorry, it's the ultra soft and then the soft. Oh, that's right, because it's the two it's different from the usual jump, as it were, because we don't have the jump from the qualifying tire to the race tires. We've got the jump between the two race tires, so the middle tire is closer to the qualifying tire, as it were, if that makes sense.
Do you reckon hyper into soft would be possible? I don't think so.
Hyper into soft is definitely possible.
It is?
Yeah,
is
I'm nearly sure it is. I'm not sure it's faster than going 2 stints of hypers onto ultras, or 1 stint of hyper and then 2 ultras, because the ultras are a lot faster than the soft, but they also have the temperature issue to some extent as well.
So, I mean, in online, people tend to go for a bit more aggressive overtakes, of course, than in real life. But in real life, also, here dirty air is not as present, and the performance differences between the cars isn't as present as in real life. So here you might actually be able to make the pass where, whereas in real life you have the problem that you're in a far superior strategy, but you just can't get in front of these cars and are stuck behind them in the dirty air. You wear your tires, they heat up really fast, even faster, and you just lose all of your tactical advantage, and therefore you just go for the 1 stop in real life. But here, the 2 stop with 2 sets of ultras, or maybe even 2 sets of hypers, depends. I think it will be 2 sets of ultras, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's likely.
So here it could be better.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you're right about the passing. Like, passing at Singapore is not impossible. It's not quite Monaco, but it's not easy either. And I think
there's some places.
Yeah, and I think we might see a couple of people, like if they choose to go onto the harder tire to begin with, then they're going to be down the order, and that's going to be very difficult for them. The Ultra isn't too much slower than the Hyper. It's probably, I don't know, 0.3 of a second over what is quite a long lap. So probably the very fastest guys, if they choose to do the ultras, could probably get somewhere in the top 5 or 6. I'm not sure, but certainly for everyone else, it's going to be you go into the ultras, then you're way down the order, possibly outside the top 10 even.
Speaking about passing opportunities, it's mainly Sector 1, if I'm not completely mistaken.
Yeah, the DRS
I think,
straight.
yeah, the start-finish straight is an opportunity, but not the best one, because it's quite short.
Yeah.
But if you get a really good run out of the last 2 turns and the car in front of you gets a bad one, then you can be side by side through the first turns, and if you can get the inside line, then you might be able to make the pass there. Then, of course, after that, there's 2 long, fairly long straights, and after that, it's just a real ocean of 90-degree corners, basically. I mean, there's some exceptions, and there's 1 long straight in the middle part of the track, but yeah, it's really narrow and cornery.
Yeah,
I think it's also the track with the most corners on the calendar. I think it's like 22.
Yeah, I
as
think
well
that's,
as Baku.
That's quite likely. Maybe with Baku. Baku's got a lot of little fiddly ones, but this has 2, so yeah. It is, by the way, dry session. Both qualifying and race are dry.
Okay.
So no rain to worry about.
Good to know.
Will be good.
I wonder how my microphone quality is now, because it was a bit far away.
It seems alright to me. Let us know in chat if there's any audio issues.
Yeah.
Please, folks.
Now I wonder what happens if I'm talking loudly. Wait a second.
I think it's probably okay.
Okay.
Because yeah, we've not had too many issues in the past, and the settings are the same as they were then. So
Yeah.
I think we'll probably be alright. People coming out
But we should.
of the pit lane.
Miloš is hoping he doesn't die in tomorrow's race.
Yeah, if he finishes, I mean, he finished the Belgium race, which was a big achievement, Miloš Martika, but if he finishes tomorrow's race, I will be seriously impressed. It is a tough track, Singapore. Certainly to finish races, it is really tough, because, yeah, like you said, one mistake, you're in the wall, and have to pit for a new front wing, if your wheel survives, that is.
Much love back to Miloš, of course.
Always.
Great.
So we're seeing some people on their outlaps now. I'm going to choose who should we go for a flying lap with first time around. Should we? I think we've done Bants before, so let's pick somebody else. Should we go with Sergios to do our first flying lap?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm searching for a track map in the meantime. Maybe we can get some corner names.
I don't remember there being any corner names at all.
I don't think so. I think it's a new Tilke track, so
yeah. Well, it's a street circuit, so it's difficult to. It's not one that's established like Monaco. I think the bridge is called the Anderson Bridge. I think that's as far as I remember, though. So here we go with a flying lap with Sergio. See the pit entry on the left. This is the final corner. It's crucial you get a good run out of the final corner under the start-finish straight. Coming up towards the first complex, which is a left-right left break at the 100-meter mark. Get it turned in. Oh, and I think Sergios is abandoning this lap, because I think he just probably got invalidated for there. No, he's turned his DRS up. So up to turn 4. This is the first DRS zone on the track now. Through this right-hander, he got a good run through there. DRS open all the way down this back straight, and this is the straight that Thimo was referring to a little bit earlier. This is the passing opportunity into this left-hander right here, which is turn 6. And then you run a little bit wide on the exit into the tight right-hander, just about avoiding the wall on the exit. Then a medium speed 3rd gear, 4th gear left-hander, get it straightened up. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle on exit. Good stuff from Sergios, getting car control there. Then what used to be the Singapore sling, that long left-hander, very fast left-hander into a very tight complex. This is the Anderson Bridge. Under the Anderson Bridge you go, and then put it all the way to the right-hand side of the track for this left-hand hairpin. Get as much traction as you can down the back straight. This is the end of sector 2. Brake just after the 100-meter mark. Get it turned into the right-hander. Get onto the curb on the exit as well. Not much grip on the exit on the outside there. Then you got this little fiddly complex here. A bunch of 3rd gear corners. The right left rather. First of all, he hits the wall there, Sergios. That would have helped his lap time. Then this little left right, the 3rd gear. then up to fourth briefly before back down to third for the right-left. This corner is crucial. This is where people kept hitting the wall like Copy just did, and he lost a bit of his front wing there. Did the Sauber driver, then through the final corner over the line, and fastest lap so far, 1 minute 34.5.
Wow. And he puts it ahead of Etney, which is of course important. The championship, gets really, the distance gets further and further because Sergio's keeps winning. So if he continues like that, he might be able to claim the title some races early. But I actually can't tell you out of my head now when he would be able to. I think he is at like 3 race wins advantage at this point.
Yep, something like that. And there's 6 races to go after this one?
So we've got Japan. And is it then the 4? No, the
it's 3. Japan, USA, Mexico, Brazil. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Oh, well, Russia's in there somewhere too.
Russia. Yeah, we didn't drive Russia, right?
Yeah, because the 2017 it was at the beginning of the season, but here it's at the end of the season.
It's actually next week, right? Next week.
Is it next week? Okay.
That's a question. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So. I don't know either.
Because I think Japan.
No, I think it's Japan next week because they do the Asian ones at once, and it used to be Malaysia in this slot, but Malaysia's gone now. So I think it's Singapore, then Japan, then I think it might be Russia.
I think it's Russia first. I will have a look.
Okay. Oh, we'll figure it out eventually. But here's Bantz. Bantz has done his first flying lap, and it was not a stunning lap, I have to say. 37.0 from him, 2.5 seconds off pace. And looking at the 2 at the front, I mean, Sergios and Etney have been battling all season, but something I hadn't noticed until just now, Etney is on the ultra soft tyres, so he's done that lap on the ultra soft, and Sergios has done that on the hyper soft. So a big advantage for Etney if he can maintain that position to the end of the session.
Also, haha, it's Russia.
Oh, it's Russia. Well done. So Thimo is right. And,
I know when the circuits are live and he knows how to drive them because I don't. So that's fine. At least something.
So who we got on track? Tipsy's pitting. I think most people are pitting. We'll stick with Copy. Copy's on his outlap though.
Oh, we're only 18 today. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's any new boys today. There's a couple of subs that are in. I think Hartzer is in.
Hartzer
is in as well.
Who's missing? Wait. Okay, Bantz is driving.
Yeah, I don't know who's missing either. Anonymous is missing.
Anonymous, yeah, right. Clara is substituting actually. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the. So Silver does normally drive a Red Bull. Who's the other Red Bull alongside Briggy normally? I don't know.
Mac Jagley, is that right?
Wait, no, I don't think he's in the roster. We should
he's not in the roster. Yeah, we should know this, but.
Yeah, there's so many roster changes, and honestly, it's quite confusing. I think.
So there's a Force Indian. It's Jason. Jason's not here.
Right. Yeah, Jason is not here. I think over the course of the season we had like 40 different drivers at one point.
Yeah.
It might be around 40 because there's a lot of substitutes going on.
Clara
of course,
clouts the wall on the exit of turn 4. Sorry.
Of course, with SLR only being in the first season, you never know who is reliable, who will commit to the league long term. So therefore, there's a lot of change going on. Whereas, for example, in Tusarel, which is currently in its 4th season, the lineups are a lot more stable.
Yep. That's absolutely right. Yeah, 2SRL, we don't have too much in the way of people jumping around from car to car or from series to series or whatever. But yeah, here we have a little bit more of that until the rosters get a bit more settled. So we've got now... So the roles are reversed from the first part of qualifying. Sergios has put the Ultras on, and Etney has put the Hypers on, at least for the time being. I wonder if Etney's going to go out again, even. I suspect he might not.
Oh! I didn't even see Edney set his time on Ultras.
Yeah, exactly.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. So big advantage for him.
Holy good grief.
I wonder if he's... I mean, he probably won't honestly keep that second position because... who was that just went? Was that Copy who just crossed the line?
I don't know what a good lap is, so...
Yeah, Copy just crossed the line. But yeah, I mean, the track will get faster, so one would assume that as Triton... I'm going to watch Triton at the beginning of his lap, I think. He's going to come across the line very shortly indeed. And we'll drive on board with him. But yeah, someone like Triton, who's done a very good first lap to put himself P3, might be in the running for a front row slot if Etney doesn't go out again on his ultra soft tyres, or on his hyper soft tyres rather.
I think the two drivers who aren't driving are Jason and J-Rox. J-Rox isn't there.
Oh yeah, J-Rox isn't here, yeah, that's right.
After he had a really, well, basically both had a really good race last time in Monza.
Yep.
Of course, being in contention of driver of the day, which has been figured out correctly, basically always those who qualify bad and do a good race get.
Yeah, we'll try try not to do that in the future. Although, I mean, it might be that, you know, somebody's had just an incredible race from the back of the grid. Oh, Silver crashed out. That was why Silver retired. He crashed out just before the Anderson Bridge, so Silver's going to be starting at the back. Unfortunately, he didn't set a time in that Red Bull.
Yeah. So he's basically halfway driver of the day.
Yeah, very possibly.
Now let's do it another way.
So Triton coming through the final complex now, the right-left. Just about avoided the wall on the exit there. Through the final left-right. Oh, I think he hit the wall on the exit there. Again, not really being too aggressive with the curbs here, Triton. This might be an improvement. He decided to take the last corner and he goes across the line, and yeah, he does improve very slightly by just over, well, almost 2/10. That goes into the 34s, the third man in this session to get into the 1 minute 34 bracket.
Speedy hasn't done a lap yet. He's still sitting in the pits at P16.
He is almost certainly going on the ultra soft tyre.
Yeah, exactly. He's just waiting out.
Yeah.
And oh, now he's driving out. So,
okay.
Oh wait, is he? Is that him? Should be number 15 Haas-car. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Leaving the pits at this moment. So, oh, he's on hypers. Why did he wait so long?
Okay.
I don't quite get it. Like, it would be a possible strategy to just sit out the bigger part of the qualifying session and do nothing and wait for the track to become faster and faster, so you can set your one attempt on the one. Wow, Briggy cutting a corner there as well. So you can set your... Okay, Briggy's not on a lap. It looked weird. So you can do your one attempt on that single set of ultra softs as late in the session as you can to get the optimum out of this lap. Speedy will definitely be looking to get the best tire situation. He was one of the drivers, of course, really vocal about his concerns about the disadvantage pet users may have with tire temperatures in Singapore, because he's a pet driver.
Absolutely.
So it will be interesting to see how he manages things and how it turns out for him.
Bantz improves by just under half a second, goes into P5, into the 35s he goes. So Bantz, he decides not to take the first couple of corners. Bantz into the top 5.
So now Silver goes across the start-finish line to start his first timed lap.
Speedy, I assume.
An attempt that he abandoned. He probably had. I can't imagine sitting in the
I
pits
imagine
for...
so. And yeah, you were talking about Speedy and not Silver, I assume. I don't think Silver's going to be starting any laps anytime soon.
No, he won't. Also, Hartzer is on his first out lap, or yeah, his first, or he's looking to set a time finally.
Okay, I'm going to keep the camera on Speedy for the time being because I think he is the main threat at the moment to the top of the standings.
Yeah. I think the wow, that was a close call, but he managed to execute that nailing of the apex. Oh, he broke. Wow. Okay, I'm watching him on board right now, and I realize how bad I am at Singapore.
Oh yeah, no, Speedy's skill around here is legit. Look at that. He's getting
because I thought he was going to crash like 3 times, but he actually just knows what he's doing.
Well, he missed the apex of that right-hander.
Yeah, he did.
Looks like a very fast lap overall. He goes into the right-left. Yeah, it always amazes me how precise he's able to be, especially with the pad. Oh, clouted the wall on the exit of the left-hander there. Shouldn't have cost him too much.
Also interesting how Benz is...
Oh, an oversteer in the left-hander. He just about got away with it. Only just, though.
Yep. Interestingly enough, Benz is currently in P5. I think he will be dropped.
Oh, Speedy crosses the line and goes onto the front row of the grid. He's 4,000ths ahead of Etney.
Yeah, half
a tenth behind Sergios.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So, in the last races, it looked like he couldn't keep up at all with Etney and Sergios, but this was a really good lap.
Yeah, it certainly was. So, Speedy, I mean, the issues I think that pad users often have on street circuits, and I mean it's worst at Monaco, but it's also quite bad here. It's just the consistency, because you really have to be so precise, and you can take chances on a qualifying lap, as we saw Speedy do a little bit there. But if you do that in the race, then it's going to be very difficult, I think, to.
Etney retires, so he stays where he is.
Yeah. So Etney's going to start the race on the ultras. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No. I wanted to point out that Benz has had a record of being really poor at Singapore. He also said that a lot himself, that Singapore is like the track he's bad at, if you had to select one. But he's currently in P6.
Well, he says that about, I don't know, I want to say about 50% of the tracks on the calendar. So I mean, take that with a grain of salt.
But for Singapore, his the record kind of justifies him saying that. Like, for example, I remember in season 2 when I was fresh into Sarel, I was battling it out with him in Singapore, even though he was so much faster on every other track. And I'm really bad at Singapore, but there he was as bad as I was. So
yeah, fair enough. Maybe there's something in that then. Ocean, I was going to say goes into the top 10, but he was already in the top 10, but he improved by about 0.3 of a second, so 36.2 for him. At 2 seconds off the leader's pace right now.
Yeah.
Griggy coming in. Oh, it's very end of the session, actually. I hadn't realised quite how late it was. We've got just over a minute left.
Will be a close call for Benz, for example. He is on his ad lap. Currently started it. Oh, Wimpy! Wimpy bottled it.
Oh, Wimpy, yeah.
Bottled it big time.
Wimpy died.
He just was facing the wall on the track. Oh, please isn't P4. I don't know if you mentioned it.
Oh no, I didn't mention that. I didn't see that until just now. That's a great showing from Please.
Yeah, I'm currently still on board with Benz. Benz is now waiting it out even more to. Okay, it wasn't a close call at all. I lied. He's now crossing the line for his final time lap. Is Sergio's doing one? Yeah, Sergios is currently also on a new lap. Maybe he gets a faster time and maybe he wears the tires less, so he might get a bit of an advantage. I don't know.
We're still watching. But Bance clouts the wall on the exit of the right-hander.
What I was about to say, one of our 2 favorite Irish drivers, Tipsy, told me that he can't go out again because he has only got 1 set of Ultra Softs, so he's going for a 1 stop now, and that's what he told me, because his proper lap got compromised by traffic, so that might be the reason he's currently only down in P14.
Okay.
We'll see, maybe he will get some good positions. He's of course on the wheel, so tire temps less of a problem. I don't think the difference is as massive, but it's still there, I think.
So Bance coming through to complete his lap. I think he's the only person sort of in the top 10 on a fast. Oh, Sergios goes fastest of all.
Wow.
On a 33.8. That is a very fast lap. Bance pipes the wall on the exit of the left-hander. Through the left-right complex. What's he gonna get? Oh, again he hits the wall on the exit.
The next wall scrap.
And again,
the next one,
so,
I think he's a proper Forza Horizon 4 online driver.
So he's gonna cross the line. He's gonna not improve. He does a 35.8 with that lap. So
yeah, the lap was quite messy, to be honest. But in the end, his lap, he said before, is enough for P7. Then Nico improves into P9, and that kicks Ocean Chief out of top 10, and he will surely be really, really worried about that. Free tire choice. But he's still on the lap, so he might get himself back into the top 10 again. And demotes /LP, who won't care because he set his time on ultras, and Ocean Chief is crossing the line.
To cross the line,
and I don't think he got the position. I'm not quite sure. No, he is
slightly.
Still
he's still 11th, so yeah, so a 10th or so improvement for Ocean, but nothing else doing there for him. So he starts 11th, and yeah, he'll have that free tire choice as you mentioned. So might be in a good position in this race. He can go probably start on the ultra softs and then go onto the softs and feel pretty good about that. So there are the standings. You can see the gap at the front. Part of that is because Etney decided not to do a lap on the Hypersoft tyres. He's going to start on the ultras instead. He's 0.8 of a second slower though than Sergios.
In the chat, pray for Ocean Chief. Also, we've got Thomas in the chat. So hi, entertain us.
Hello, we're trying, we're doing our best. So there's the standings. Silver, of course, not setting a lap time, so he's going to start all the way at the back of the grid. But up front, it's pretty much, I think, as we might have expected. And it is, in fact, time for the race.
Is the thumbnail correct? I just saw on Discord it was still the Italy one. Oh, it is correct. Okay.
Yep, it definitely is.
We've got ourselves 31 active viewers. That's
Hello,
nice.
everyone. That's yeah, good to see people. Good to see people tuning in for this one. It's I think it's going to be an interesting race. Sorry, go on.
I wanted to ask you when you play the intro.
Oh, I just did.
oh, okay.
So
that's why glasses. Yeah, thanks to Wimpy, of course, for the intro. He's in the Toro Rosso car, currently in P17 on the grid, so not the best qualifying, and he did the intros for SLR and to Sorel broadcasts. So
yep,
just so you know,
fantastic work from him. It's just adding a little bit of professionalism and respectability to the broadcast, because well, I mean, us two are neither of those things, so someone has to.
Definitely.
So in terms of tyres, so obviously the top 10 are locked in. Copy, by the way, is also on the ultra soft tyres. Today he's starting P8, so he's in a very good position. But everyone else in the, the only person who's gone onto the hypersoft tyres is Jesse, starting outside the top 10. We have Hartzer starting on the softs, so he's going to be slightly out of position, probably a little bit off pace for the beginning of the race. But everyone else on the ultra soft tyres, as we would expect. We would expect all of those cars to do a one-stop, ultras onto softs, and possibly hypers onto softs is doable, but I don't know, it might be a two-stop for some of the hypers runners. We will see, but I think a two-stop is fine here. A, because it's a long race, and B, because you don't actually lose that much time in the pit lane. It's one of those tracks where you can cut a little bit out by pitting, and it's not a terribly long pit lane, even though it's a little bit slow. So two-stopping, not so bad here.
Yep, I agree.
So you see the cars. I don't think anyone's been disqualified from the formation lap yet, which is good going. Oh, there we go. I jinxed that, didn't I? Tipsy Bob and Clara coming into contact, so those two will start at the back of the grid with cold tyres.
Oh. You've outdone them.
So here we go. You can hear that.
As usual, I will look further down the order and keep an eye, especially on Copy and Yurgos, for example, because I I think both are capable of being higher up the order, so they might do something interesting at the start.
Yep, I tend to agree. But yeah, we're just getting ready here. I wonder if Etni's starting on his ultras is going to affect his start. Here we go then, 5 lights on in Singapore, and away we go eventually, and trying to see who got a good start, and Sergio's going to the inside to try and cover off Speedy. Speedy putting his nose up the inside. Oh, and Please going right up the inside of pushing Etnik off the track, and I think he got him for the time being into third. Briggy drops down the order as well, but Etni has suffered a little bit with that start. Everyone through cleanly, though, as far as we can tell for the time being. We got Triton and Bance running in formation. Bance hitting the wall, I think, on the exit of turn 4 as well. But as they head down the DRS straight now, it's pretty much single file. We got a battle here for 8th as Hartzell tries to go up the inside of Copy on those soft tyres. Copy, of course, on the ultras.
Copy will stick his nose down the inside on the right-hander.
Good stuff from Hartzell, though.
So he should be able to contest it. Honestly, I'm surprised and also pleased about how clean the start was from everyone. Not a single bit of carnage. Briggy dropped down the order, but he just got swamped by a lot of cars and was probably pushed a bit wide, and therefore lost lots of positions, but he didn't crash. No one spun or anything.
I think everyone's still in the race at the moment.
Really nice.
We have Danico, who's lost a couple of positions just now towards the back of the grid, and there's a little bit of a cluster here heading down to this right-hander. Both McLarens involved. Oh, goodness me, that was very tight, wasn't it? Through there.
Police has also started the hunt for Speedy. Police is currently chasing Speedy in P2, while Sergios again gets up ahead. He's already 1.3 seconds ahead as Etni scraps the wall on the exit of one of the last corners there a bit, and therefore loses a bit of time. And now Triton looks competitive. He looks like he wants to fight with Etni.
Has the temporary tyre advantage, of course. Triton, he's on the hyper soft tyres. Etni on the ultra soft tyres. He's going to have a little bit of a grip advantage for the time being. Did we miss Sergios making a mistake there, or is that just that looks like it might be a bugged? It might be a bugged relative thing. So he's still got a lead of about 1.5 seconds, despite what the graphic says.
Yeah, we got out code mastered.
So just looking a little bit further down the order, and it seems to be a very well behaved start. Good stuff from everyone in SLR. Nobody falling off the back of anybody else by the looks of it. So good stuff.
There's quite a gap forming between Harzer and /OP, although the intervals don't mirror it again. Which of course is down to the fact that Harzer...
Please had a good look up the inside there of the hairpin on Speedy. Didn't quite get it done though, sorry.
Which is of course down to the fact that Harzer is the only driver who has started his race on the soft tires, and therefore he's pulling a train of cars as Bance goes off! Bance goes off, I don't think he hit the wall, he just overshot the corner or something and then caught his car, and now he's down into P11. Bance has lost quite some positions. I think it was in P6 or 7 before that happened.
Yeah, he was 6,
and now he is behind Tipsy Bob in P11, so he has to fight himself, he has to fight his way up back into the points paying positions.
Meanwhile,
again.
Etni alongside the Williams of Please getting into turn 1, not quite alongside in fact. It's a little bit behind there. We're going to ride on board through turns 2 and 3. But obviously Please struggling a little bit with those hyper soft tyres. Etni not having so many concerns with his ultras. And I think he's going to be a sitting duck.
And now he moves to the inside and he really wants to get alongside early. He will have DRS. His DRS is open and now he will have the outside line for the corner, but I think he will. He has got so much more speed that he can take the corner.
Yep, very nicely done.
Not even a duel on the brakes, and now he is up into the podium position again.
Copy has passed Hartzell for P7 as well, so that happened while we were watching that little scrap between Etni and Please. It'll be interesting to see whether Etni can catch Speedy up front.
And Wimpy has pitted, and I think I just saw a bit of a front wing and play possibly flying around in the background, but I can't tell which car it was. So only speculation on my behalf there. Yugos now looks like he wants to take. He also wants to get ahead of this for this Williams car of Harzer, and he goes to the outside. He will try to make the move stick. They are still side by side, and now Yugos will have the outside line again, but he is ahead. He of course had Hypersoft, so Harzer was.
Well, he's on the ultras, but yeah, Harzer is really struggling because he's on the softs.
He's on the softs. Yeah, he was kind of fighting without the best weapons. Ben's having a bit of a moment, at least on my camera angle.
Triton gonna have a look here. I think at please.
Etney has passed Speedy for P2.
Oh wow, that happened so quickly.
Or at least I did.
Yeah, and that must have been down the start-finish straight. So Triton, yeah, Triton didn't manage to get past Please in the end.
Goes into the pits. Sorry there. Danica also into the pits.
So yeah, battle for fourth here. Please is obviously struggling with his tyres a lot, because Triton is now all over the back of him as well. So I wonder if that's the overheating issue. I don't know if Please is on pad or on wheel. Triton has a look to the inside. Doesn't quite manage to get it done there though.
Almost overshots the corner. He only missed the apex in the end. I feel like in Singapore you can brake a lot later than I always think. That's why I'm always getting excited about drivers taking the corners just normally, because I think they brake too late.
Yeah, so don't wonder why. Yeah, especially on the Hypersoft tyres, you can really get the car slowed down in a hurry. You can see Triton. Triton's struggling with the back end a little bit as well, so his pace obviously
really close to you,
suffering.
I interrupted you, just wanted to mention.
No, that's cool. Tipsy is very close to Hugo's. Briggy gets himself a penalty.
Wow.
So he's at the back of the grid. He pitted last lap, so he's obviously something has happened to him. It's Tipsy not going to have a look quite yet at Hugo's. They're both on the same tyres, of course, so no real advantages there. But Tipsy, very smooth driver, might be in a good position here in terms of the tyre temps. He might be suffering less than other people with that difficulty.
While
as Hugo's hits the wall, and Tipsy does manage to get past. So I don't know whether Hugo's got damage there.
He might have, but it didn't look like a big impact. Will he dive into the pits? No, he won't. He will stay out. He's obviously an Ultrasoft.
Triton pits from what was P5, I believe. So he comes out. He's going to go into the Ultrasoft, so he's two-stopping. No doubt about that.
Please gets himself a 3 seconds. A time penalty. What I was about to say was, Jesse also with a penalty. While Benz has a record of not being good at Singapore, Tipsy has a record of being really good at Singapore.
Yeah.
I think in season 2 of Tussarel he claimed a podium here, and I think in season 3 he was really competitive as well. So this is probably his fastest track on the calendar. So even more unfortunate that he didn't manage to put in the lap he maybe could have done in the qualifying.
Oh, Speedy got overtaken by Please. Where did that happen? That must have happened on the straight before the left-hander. Is Speedy?
And now Slash LP.
Speedy have damage?
I don't know.
I feel like Speedy's got damage. He's that left front. Yeah, the left front end plate is missing, so he's got pretty serious damage by the looks of it.
Is.
So Speedy's hit the wall somewhere.
That might even be red one.
Yeah, he's
orange at least.
He's really struggling. I think he's going to lose his place here to Slash LP. Just about manages to defend, but not sure for how long. He's surely going to pit at the end of this lap. So Speedy in a little bit of difficulty, as I'm going to see on board with Slash LP now. He's really holding him up there, Speedy. Speedy's going to dive into the pit lane, so that's not ideal from his point of view.
And now he drops down by going into the pits. Further down the order, Harzer is now victim to 2 Renault cars of Clara and Ocean Chief, both teaming up against him and trying both to get past her. He's now got 2 hungry Red Bulls in his Renaults in his mirrors, and one of them, Clara, makes the move to the inside. He taps Harzer a bit wide, and that may even open the door for Ocean Chief. Not yet. Clara will probably stay ahead. I don't think there is a counter move to be made there from Harzer.
Well, the issue Clara's got is that he's not going to have DRS now for this straight, so it might be that Harzer is going to get at least have a look and getting that position back. He's not going to...
Alright, Ocean Chief with a really late braking, having a look around the outside. There's yellow flags. No, nothing happened, probably.
And I see Slash LP... Did he lose a position? Not sure. There was something that
I don't know.
Yeah,
It happens so fast here. And by the way, Etney and Sergios are really close together.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is a big battle for the lead. Etney's caught right up on his ultra soft tyres. Sergios on his hypers, of course. Must be struggling with tyre temps.
Now.
So we'll keep our eyes on this for the time being.
Yeah, I honestly expected Sergios to just run away another time, but this time Etney has not, he has got the better strategic situation, and this time, unlike, I think Spa it was? Or Hungary, he doesn't get...
Sergios pits.
Oh, wow, that's unfortunate. I wanted a battle.
No battle on track, unfortunately for us. So Sergios, wondering what tyres he's going to put on here. This might be... interesting. They look like ultras to me. Yeah, they are ultras. So Sergios is 2-stopping. Don't think there's any doubt about that.
This time he what I was about to say, this time he doesn't... Etney doesn't lose all of his tactical advantage by getting... denied of climbing up the order by other cars, or maybe spinning or something like that. I think Hungary was the track where it happened. I'm not quite sure though. So he had... a bit of
look at where Sergios has come out, my goodness. In all sorts of traffic, he's behind Ocean and Hartzer, so he's going to have to make several overtakes.
Dives to the inside, they are too wide, and they might just
DRS,
completely roadblock Sergios.
Well, Sergios surely is going to look to the inside here, Hartzer. Yeah. Wow.
That could have been dangerous, but in the end it was fine. It just looked a bit dramatical in my point of view.
Yeah, nice driving from Hartzer to realise what was up and to get out of the way of Sergios. So there's a battle a little bit ahead as well. Slash LP and Clara are right together on track. Sergios having to have a look at the inside, but this is going to hurt Sergios so much. He's going to have to stay behind all the way through this section on someone with much older tyres who isn't as fast anyway, in the form of Ocean Chief. And there's going to be no opportunity to overtake until probably this right-hander, if he can get a run. He's got a little bit of a run. Ocean is... I think he's going to give him it, is he? Yeah, I think he is. So down the inside he goes. Oh, and he hits the wall! Oh no, Sergios hits the wall in a big way! And Ocean hit him as well, but he'll have lost all sorts of time. He'll also have lost some of his front wing. What a disaster for Sergios. That might be...
one lap after the pit stop, so that pretty much... Oh, and Speedy is retired!
Oh, what happened to Speedy? I'm
trying to spot the cops by driving on board with police, so we just basically lost two of our two really fast drivers. Speedy retired on his own. His car is completely fine. What happened? Maybe frustration over something that happened. I don't know. We can only guess. I will probably hit him up on Steam and ask him what they can give me the information. What happened? And Sergios, the current championship leader, goes into the wall. He collided with Ocean Chief, I guess. I didn't see it. I just saw it in the background.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. So Ocean having to pit as well. So it's unfortunate for Ocean Chief because he was having a very good race until that happened. As Sergio's still... Okay, he's out. It was bugged for me for a little bit. So yes, Ocean having to change his front wing. So Etney now in a position where... Well, I mean, he qualified third on the Ultras, so he was always going to be in a good position. But, well, he's in a very good position because nobody within 16 seconds of him. That's how far Copy is, his teammate behind. Yeah. And only will have to make one stop in this race. So
I think... Is there anyone who will... I think everyone will have to do one stop from now. Is there one who can drag it to the end? Zaza definitely can't. Well, Sergios and Slash LP.
I think Slash LP and Sergios and Ocean Chief as well now. I think we'll probably be able to take it to the end of the race as Silver gets himself a penalty. He's way down the order though. So yeah, I think from now the softs are probably okay to go to the end of the race, but I mean they're still slow, which is the main issue. I think for Sergios now it's a question of just trying to get as many points as he can, and I think the stewards are going to want a word with him as well. I mean, I guess he crashed because he outbraked himself into that corner, and then Ocean hit him. So maybe not, but certainly Ocean was the innocent victim of that little encounter.
Speaking about frontrunners being impaired in this race, Speedy retired because of basically the frustration of his tires being at 105 degrees, even though he drove conservative early, and then he got damage to his wing and thought it isn't really worth going on. So a lot of frustration that Singapore is causing. Yep. I can definitely see the point, to be honest. I mean,
well, I don't think he's the only one who's... Yeah, I don't think he's the only one who's suffering.
Yeah. Also, I just received the message as well that Hugos, of course, is also really struggling.
Yeah, we can see it on track now because we got Clara right up behind him.
He just can't get that car turned in properly because his tire is obviously also on 104 currently, I got told.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it. Clara's all over the back of him. He's going to have to give up that position quite soon, I think. Clara's getting quite frustrated in that Renault behind. And he's going to have a look to the inside here. No, he's not. Not quite close enough. He has to follow him through. But yeah, again, you can see Hugo struggling so much. And they're all losing time, a lot of time, to our leader, Etni, who is pulling away still from Copy and is on those ultra soft tyres. Only going to have to pit one more time. Well, Clara just basically pushing Hugo's through the through the chicane there. Hugo's getting a little bit squirrely on exit as well. Hugos, is he gonna pit this time? We have the revs bug, unfortunately, so I'm not going to ride on board with Clara. Clara runs a little bit wide, opens the DRS. Is now the point where he's going to be able to attack? Nope. Still sits behind. Hugos gets himself a penalty though, because I think he cut the chicane there in turn 1. So all of this is allowing trying to catch up as well. Oh, and a crash, and Clara into the wall. Somebody lost their front wing there. Was that Clara or was that Hugos? Not exactly sure, but they came together. Triton, I think, is going to pass both of them here. So Triton, we can see, has already passed Hugos. He's got Clara just ahead, and he goes down the inside of the Renault. So Triton up into P4. Clara, don't know about Clara's front wing.
I don't know. One of both lost the nameplate, but I seriously can't tell you who it was. I looked it up on the replay of the stream. As Briggy and Harzer are running side by side. Now Briggy goes to the inside and also passes Harzer, and Bans he doesn't have a look. He's too far back at this point. So Bans will now try to get past Harzer as well.
Maybe down the inside here of this left-hander, but no, there's not really an overtaking point there. Harzer running very wide. Bans putting his nose in, probably where he shouldn't have done. But does get away with it. He's, again, very, very close to the back of the Williams. He's not really going to be able to have a look into the hairpin, so...
And now he goes to the inside.
He's got him easily.
Harzer left quite a big gap.
Easily on traction.
With the Ultra Softs, the traction is just far better, so he gets that. Yeah, this race currently looks like a Sauber game.
Yep, I think so. Clara and Hugos, by the way, both very slow. They both lost multiple seconds this lap to Triton, so I imagine they'll both pit. Clara doesn't pit, in fact, but Hugos does. So Hugos, for what should be his one and only pit stop.
And Briggy and Bans are really close together on track, so this could develop into a really interesting battle. If I'm reading this right now, Bans getting a bit of overspeed out of the penultimate corner. Briggy moving to the inside to cover up his line. The line. Bans will try to swing it around the outside, and he kind of runs onto the infield and blocks Briggy a bit. I think they made a bit of contact, and now Briggy touching the side pod of Bans for a bit, I think. Yeah, that was a bit scrappy, but the move is done, and I think it was, in the end, fair enough.
They both hit the wall on the exit. I'm seeing if Briggy's going to have a run here. He's probably not quite close enough to be able to have a look.
I think Hugos had a problem because he just lost big time out to Sergius on the timetable. Maybe that was a bug on Codemaster's side, but I'm not quite sure. I think he may have had a spin or something.
I think that's roughly where he should be, because he was right behind Clara, and if he changed his front wing as well, that's about how much time you'd expect him to lose.
Okay, then it was the interval showing me weird things with his pit exit. Okay, then I misread that. That's fine.
So Briggy now under pressure from Please as well. I wonder if Briggy is suffering with his tyres a little bit as well, because all sorts of difficulty. Bans has already pulled out a second and a half in half a lap or so, and he's on slightly newer tyres, but not too much newer tyres. So Briggy obviously struggling. Please is all over the back of him. They go into the very tight left right-hander.
Oh, and he moves to the inside. That's
one
really
up the inside.
Move.
Wow.
And he taps the wall on the exit now. They are going towards the second bridge. Yeah, that was a bit... I wouldn't have done that.
Yep, that was a risky move. Tipsy Bob pits from P3. So he's going to come out somewhere around where Bants is, I believe.
And Nico gets himself a penalty. Yeah, especially, I think, in the last are we running strict? I think we are.
Yeah, we definitely are, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's really easy to get penalties on the last 2 corners, and well, in general, just generally speaking, just sector 3.
Yeah.
You can get lots of warnings there, and for running wide on the last 2 corners as well.
Oh, please, into the wall. He tried to pass Tipsy Bob, and then he goes into the back of Tipsy Bob as well and gives him a little bit of a shove. He's on much better tyres, and he forces his way past.
That wasn't clean. That wasn't the
not at all clean. I wonder if he got damage from the wall, because
Tipsy might be frustrated at this point. He's having a really good race to the until this moment. I don't think he took damage though, so he might just have a bit of have had a bit of a scary moment and frustration building up, but nothing more.
Yeah, so and Tipsy won't be
fine.
Too badly affected by that. Please is faster than him anyway, so he won't have been held up too much.
Yep. He will still come out ahead of Copy if
I don't know about that. No, Copy is behind. Copy is ahead rather. So
yeah, he is.
So Copy does take the lead, but only temporarily. He'll have to pit very soon. Meanwhile, Bantz being, I think, caught by Please just behind him. Please seems to have gotten over his tyre difficulties. And
Sergius is now really close to Harzer, so yeah, Sergius, of course, with the task at hands of passing everyone after his crash. Oh, I'm getting the rev back. That's not nice. Harzer gets a penalty. He will move to the inside probably. I don't think Harzer will really hold against it. He won't. Yeah, he has to pass a lot of cars. So of course, if you make a mistake, you have to pass more cars, which can induce more mistakes and more. So
Bantz to the inside for P4, and Please, I think, is going to go around the outside of him. He does. So Please takes that P4. Bantz losing out there. But Triton having an excellent race. We haven't really mentioned Triton too much, but he's running right up there in P3, yeah, and he's been by himself for a good chunk of this race, and he's on that 2-stop strategy, of course, so we will have to pit again, but he's pulled out a gap of more than 20 seconds over the cars behind him. So Please and Bantz are battling out there for P4, but Triton is 20 seconds ahead of the both of them on the same strategy, so good stuff from him.
Really good stuff.
Once again, we follow the other Ferrari. Copy has pitted. Yeah, pitted. Well, as Etney gets himself a penalty, that's probably not going to matter. He's going to win the race quite easily, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true. I don't want to jinx anything, but have we had a 1-2 finish of a team yet? Oh, and he gets a penalty. Yeah. Oops. Did it just say that? I'm not quite sure.
I'm not sure we've had a 1-2, no. It's... we had a 1-2 in the 2 SRL race last week, the 2 McLaren drivers finishing first and second.
Yeah, after it's been a meme for
4
seasons, basically.
Yeah, it was my internet donating that 1-2 to the 2 of them.
Yeah, and also, I didn't watch the race, but also Pala,
Pala and Noel got together. They were at the front, so yeah.
And I think one else got caught up in it. I think it was a bit of a mess, so a lot of cars going off in that race, as Copy has now made his pit stop and is...
Yeah, and was just overtaken, I think, in that DRS zone by Please, because Copy's on cold tyres and Please is not. So Please getting himself a position there, at least for the time being. Please, of course, will have to pit again.
Yugas makes a nice clean move down the inside of Harzer, who's now on his 14 laps old soft tyres.
Yeah, so he's got a little bit more pain to endure, I think, Harzer. On those tyres. Oh, Hugas gets it all wrong out of the left-hander and just about keeps it pointing in a straight line. You can see, though, he's struggling again. I wonder if he's struggling again with those tyres, even on those soft tyres.
After 4 laps is probably the for the tyres to start absolutely cooking on the pad.
Yeah, so Hugo's really struggling, and I think that so much is down to driving style. You can see Etney able to be smooth, someone like Tipsy Bob as well able to be smooth. He's very easy on tyres, and so he does very well here. But the others It's a little bit of a struggle for them. Copy is coming under some pressure from Bantz here. I think he might have just warmed his tyres up in time. Copy. He's not under too much pressure, I think, coming into this DRS zone up here, as Bantz and Please both get themselves penalties in turns 1 and 2. So they both obviously struggling with those track limits.
Bantz having a bit of...
he hit the wall again.
A moment with the wall, yeah.
He's done that almost every lap. Yeah, he's done that almost every lap that I've been watching him. So I don't know if he does that actually every lap or...
or if it's only if you look there.
Yeah.
We don't know if his touching the wall has mastered object permanence. So maybe it's not there if we don't see it.
So Ocean now closing up on Danny Coe. Not quite close enough, I don't think, this time, unless he sends one. That's not like Ocean, though, so he's not going to do that. Danny Coe, though, struggling to get it slowed down. And Ocean is obviously faster at this point in the race. They're both catching Hartzer, who's a second and a half or so in front.
I wonder what Hartzer will be able to... Etney with really stellar laps. I wonder what Hartzer will be able to achieve in the later stages of the race when he himself gets onto the... Ultra softs? Yeah, ultra softs. It will be ultras, I guess. So for the last around 11, 10 laps, something around that range. I wonder what he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, I think maybe something, but he's going to be a long way back. He's going to be down with, I guess, down with Briggy and that crew down there. So he's got a lot to do from there. It's Clara now having a look.
Oh, Sergios.
At his teammate. Sergios gets himself a penalty. He's trying pretty hard right now. He's trying to catch Tipsy Bob as Clara runs into the back of his teammate in the very slow complex. There's traffic, all sorts of traffic, in fact, between these drivers. Is that Wimpy there? No, it's Danny Coe, in fact.
A street circuit having traffic. Ironic.
Yep. This is reminding me a little bit of the Hamilton Verstappen, when they caught Grosjean. Oh, and again, Clara lost.
Again,
he lost some front wing there as well.
Braking pretty conservatively, and therefore Clara doesn't expect that, and then just runs into the back of Ocean Chief. Not really.
Ocean tries to go around the outside of Hartzer, and I think he's just about going to get it done. Are they still? No, they're not 3 wide, thankfully.
No, they weren't. But in my camera angle, it looked like they're on even levels.
Both have DRS. Hartzer's not going to center though.
I thought they were 3 wide.
So Clara now is
and there's a counter wall! It's Danny Coe!
Oh, Danny Coe is just ahead of them, so he couldn't get it slowed down for the right-hander, unfortunately, and he's lost a bunch of his front wing, so he's going to be struggling. He's going to be pitting.
Sergio's now trying to take the net podium position P3 away from Tipsy Bob. So has Tipsy Bob had a podium I think was he on the podium in Hungary? Is that possible? No, he wasn't. He wasn't P5.
No, I don't think he's had a podium.
He was on podium course.
SLR, so but he's having such a good race.
So he might have a bit of a deja vu, as he is currently in a net P3 and now might be demoted further down the order as Sergios makes a really late move on the brakes down the inside, and he runs into the back of Tipsy Bob, almost spinning out. Tipsy was clearly seeing it coming, but honestly had the corner rights, and Tipsy is the kind of driver who says, I've got the corner rights. If you want to stick it down the inside, then, well, let's see who spins.
Yep, absolutely.
That's how Tipsy Bob is driving. He's demonstrating that to us in a really hard way.
Absolutely,
but I think
very
in a
nicely
hard but fair way, will Sergios have another look? No, he isn't.
Sergios all over the back of Tipsy, and it's one. I mean, we know Sergios is aggressive, but that's the first time really that a driver has given as good as he's gotten there on Sergios. So good stuff from Tipsy as they go through the fast left-hander, and Sergios is going to have to wait behind him again.
He's really not the kind of driver you want to have the task overtaking, because Tipsy's really good at defending, and also he has the attitude I just described. If you don't have the corner rights, then he doesn't give you the corner. He won't surrender his position, and that's giving Sergios a bit of a trouble.
There was certainly no need for Tipsy to give up that position there, and he knew that he could defend it on the outside. It was very nicely done.
Wait, is Sergio's on ultras or on softs? Because
no, he's
the
on softs.
timetable says softs and my screen says ultras.
Okay, my screen says soft, so I'm pretty sure he's on softs.
Okay, yeah, he
and it would make sense that he's on
soft
soft because he pitted to go to the end of the race, but now he's right up behind once again. And yeah,
now
surely
he
got
will
in this time.
Probably get a better run down the inside. Now he has corner right, so nothing really Tipsy can do about that.
Yeah, good stuff from
Maybe
Sergios.
He will take revenge though with DRS. He gets a bit of a wide line, but tries to focus it all onto the exit of the corner. Didn't really go too well. Now if the run through this corner is good, he might be able to do something. No,
not close enough. So Sergios, I think, is going to keep what is. I'm not sure it's a net P3 actually, because I think Triton is probably in P3 right now. On those ultra soft tires.
Right, yeah, the gap is huge. So
very big.
Now in net P5. He's going to get ahead of Please for sure.
Yeah.
And he might. No, wait.
Well, it's 27 seconds between Triton and Sergios, and I think that's a pit here is probably 22, 23, something like that. So I think Triton does certainly have it, and of course he's going to be on faster tyres when he comes out as well. He's going to be able to put either the hypers or the ultras on, whichever he prefers. Showing that the two-stop is very much viable around here. Triton driving very well indeed. We have yellows in Sector 1. I'm trying to look at the standings to see who that might be. I'm not sure. As we see Bantz trying to make his way back up, having pitted. He's quite some way behind those. Got Clara ahead of him. Clara, who probably will have to pit again. I'm not absolutely sure about that, though. A Silva retires. What happened there?
I don't know.
We're going to ride on board with Danico to try and work out what happened to Silva. He was behind.
He's already past him.
Yeah, I do not know. So we're going to try one more time. It might be in the right-hander. Wimpy runs a little bit wide and possibly gets himself a warning for that. I'm trying to look for Silva's car and I'm not seeing it.
The car will probably be cleared at that point. So then I'm just quickly having... Yeah, I'm going to ask him.
So here we go. We're going to have a battle, I think, for P3 on track. Maybe quite soon. So I think Copy is catching Please in that third place. Please, of course, will have to pit again.
Briggy with another penalty, and Hearts are finally into the pit with Ultrasoft, so he gets his set of Ultrasofts now. Bantz is closing down the gap on Clara now to get himself up into the points peg positions.
Yeah, and we do have this battle between Please and Copy. I wonder if Please is going to pit anytime soon. I suspect he might, because he's got Copy all over the back of him and he's on 12 lap old ultras. Triton pits from P2 now. We'll see where he comes out. We'll see whether Please decides to go into the pit lane or not. He does. So Please pits, and that releases Copy, at least for the time being. So Triton, I think, is going to come out of the pit lane here, and I think he's going to be behind Copy.
Runs into the wall. He locks up badly.
Oh dear.
And he puts it into the tyre barrier. That's a good chunk of his front wing gone. And yeah, so he will surely have to pit again. Or will he? Will he drag it to the end? I mean, that degree of front wing damage is really bad. And around second point, there's a jumping barrier. We've got a jumping barrier on the bridge. So that would probably catch out some drivers. That's a known bug in this game, and it actually happened in the league race. So now the second bridge, there's two bridges on this circuit. Of course, if there's one bridge, you have to have another one. And apart from the Anderson,
so which one is that? That's not the Anderson bridge. That's the other bridge.
It's the other one, the second one where, for example, I think Ericsson went off, where Night Hunter did his mighty dive bomb. Now Harzer will approach this corner, and I will have a look at the tire barrier. Yeah, the tire barrier is displaced. It's not as bad as it can be. It can completely block off the race line without giving the driver any line of sight on it. In this case, it isn't as bad, but that shouldn't happen. And now we've got the barrier on the track. And that's probably the point where real life race would be red.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna try and point this out. I still haven't seen it yet. Who's going through there now?
Danico? No, wait. I don't know.
Is it Triton?
I can't tell you. Probably
Triton
Ocean.
and Tipsy, maybe. So this is the second bridge, is it? Oh, there's the second bridge. So
it's Tipsy Bob! What the hell?
So I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all.
Oh, then it's only for me. Tipsy Bob just... Wow.
Okay.
Okay, Tipsy Bob's car just absolutely imploded for me.
Okay, so... no,
so
Tipsy's absolutely fine, so thankfully...
Yeah, he is. I saw him running into it, and then just having a bit of a...
So it's good. So it's good to know that it's only. It's good to know that it's only a spectator bug. So thankfully the league race not affected by that.
Yeah, I just had a bit of a stroke, but apart from that, it's fine.
So Etney gets himself another penalty, but he is 47 seconds ahead. Yeah. And Sergios might get himself second place here because he's behind Copy, which would be an incredible effort after the trials and tribulations he's had this race. He had that accident, of course, with Ocean Chief. But he is chasing down Copy now on older tyres, I should say, on 6 laps older tyres. And he's going to try and take second place away from the Sauber. And all the while, Triton is going to be catching the pair of them because he is on fresh Ultra Softs.
Yeah. You can tell Yugos is still struggling. Ocean Chief is really close to him, and Briggy has just made a pass on Clara, demoting Clara out of the points bank positions for now. Briggy has got some penalties, I think, and also what I was about to say, but then Bans crashed, so I forgot to mention it. Bans is now passing Harzer. This race is not only the time-wise longest race on the calendar, but it also has got elements of endurance racing because we've lost 2 drivers due to conceding after too high tire temperatures, not being able to manage it. As Silva has told me, he also forfeited and decided not to drive this race anymore, as he had he himself wrote that he had around 110 degrees Celsius.
Oh my goodness me.
On his tires. That's a lot. I don't know, maybe he
well, we know Silva from past races has an extremely aggressive driving style, so yeah, that doesn't...
Yeah, so it's possible.
I mean,
maybe he...
That level of heat is extreme, but yeah.
the numbers up. I don't know. That's possible, but he definitely fought with that, and in the end he didn't see a point as he couldn't keep his car together.
Yeah.
As a result.
Fair enough. So here is the battle still then for P2, Copy and Sergios. Still right together on track. There are 10 laps to go. There's still a long way to go. As Thimo said, the longest race in terms of time on the calendar. I think even longer than Monaco is Singapore.
It is, I think.
So, and yeah, Triton
because
is catching
the laps at Monaco are actually
knots.
Short. Like here we've got 1 minute 35. Monaco is 1:15.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Monaco is 39 laps, but yeah, that's not enough to make up the difference. So Triton is going to be on the back of this little battle very soon, and it's going to be a 3-way between Copy, Sergios and Triton, and this will be a shootout for second place. And I think, I mean, Triton, I would imagine that he's almost certainly favourite for it. This is yellow flags in Sector 2. Again, I'm looking at the timing screens, nothing jumping out at me as Triton hits the wall on the exit of the left-hander. He was lucky not to get damage from that.
No. Okay.
He hit the wall really hard. And fortunately I didn't see any front wing flying off his car, as now we come up to the DRS zone here in these what is now lap 23. These guys are a full half a lap behind Etney, who is going to win this race by an absolute country mile. But now Sergios very close to the back of Copy, does have DRS. Copy, is he going to go to the inside to try and defend? He doesn't.
He isn't.
And Sergios, I think, will go up the inside. Is Triton going to be able to as well? Triton having a look around the outside of the right-hander.
Outside will Copy try to keep this position.
Nicely done by Triton, all the way around the outside.
Into the podium positions. And now the question is he able to stay in range of Sergios? Sergios, of course, being a really fast driver, but the tire disadvantage is massive.
Yep.
It's absolutely massive. It's 3-lap-old Ultra Soft versus 15 laps old soft tires, so should have the edge, the definite edge.
I would imagine. I would imagine in terms of lap time, there's probably more than 2 seconds between these tires right now. maybe even close to 3, because yeah, the age of them and the fact that they're 2 compounds softer as well on Triton's car. So I imagine it's a matter of time before Triton finds his way past Sergios, but I mean, Sergios is probably not going to surrender lightly, though.
Triton just ran into the barrier, was about to shout.
Another penalty for Sergios. Yeah.
I will count penalties for a second while you can...
That's a good idea, yeah, thank you. So Triton then coming onto the start-finish straight. He's got plenty of battery, and I'm sure he's saving it for the run down towards turn number 5. Through these first 3 corners, Sergios, he has to stay close here. He'll stay as close as he can to the back of that Mercedes. As they go now into the right-hander, he will have better traction here through this right-hander, and he will have the superior straight-line speed. He gets a little bit squirrely on the exit of that corner. He's going to be in the slipstream. Sergios, though, defending. And Triton down the inside. Sergios able to defend it around the outside. Very nicely driven by the Spaniard. Triton having a look to the inside of the right-hander. Nothing doing, though. And once again, the status quo is kept here between these 2 drivers. This is a shootout for second place.
Bant's retired!
Oh dear, didn't see what happened to Bantz, and I'm not sure we're going to be able to see now.
I wonder if I ask him why he retired, if he will be the 3rd person to reply with...
I don't know if it's tired. I imagine it might be general frustration.
I can't be asked.
Yeah, I mean, it might be something like that. Yeah, it might be general frustration because, yeah, it's he was down in 14th place, and yeah, we know when things don't go too well, then Bantz is...
Oh, he lost a tyre.
Oh, he lost a tyre, fair enough.
He just wrote to me, ran my tyre off before I could even ask. It wasn't on purpose. Okay.
So Bantz crashes out, unfortunately, but yeah, he wasn't going to score any points anyway, and yeah, right up the back now of this battle, or of this Mercedes, is Triton. Sergios, as I said, not giving it to him.
Yeah, I don't even know if I said it out loud now or if I only thought about the penalty situation. I'm not sure if I...
you haven't given the penalty situation yet. Yeah, okay. I don't know.
It's hard to keep track of it, but I think Sergios has got 2 penalties and Triton has got 1.
Okay, so at the moment Triton is in a net P2. So, and again he hits the wall on the exit of the right-hander, trying to get a good run. He's not close enough this time, I don't think. More yellow flags in Sector 1. We'll see who that might be. I'm not seeing anything just yet. Please is going to be on the back of /LP here, and I think he's going to be passed before too much longer. He's on those fresh ultra soft tyres, of course, so /LP not going to be able to defend very well. He has a look to the inside, please, and that's not a very good move, to be honest. You don't want to be doing that down the inside. He gets away with it, yeah. He showed his nose down the inside of the right-hander, of the very slow right-hander. Oh, and he shoves him off the racetrack. Oh dear, that wasn't clean at all from Please. I'm afraid
he's not really having a good race.
Yeah, pushes /LP off the track.
Those steers might have a word with him.
Yeah.
I would recommend it, but yeah, also I'm not a steer, so I can't tell.
Yeah, we'll see about that, but yeah, it was twice now, Please, letting his impatience get the better of him and shoving his competitor out of the way. As once again, down the start-finish straight, or coming to the start-finish straight, we have the battle for second place. And yeah, as we said, it might be that Triton is content to stay behind. Probably gets himself a penalty. The reason being that he has second anyway with the penalty situation, and he might know that. And again, he might not know that, and he might want to pass him on the track anyway, just to ward people off from behind as much as anything else. Oh, again he hits the wall on the exit of the right-hander. He's close enough this time, though, to be having at least a look on Sergios. Sergios covers the inside. Triton goes to the outside, trying to go around the outside of the left-hander. He runs very wide, might have got a warning for that, but I think he's going to go down the inside of this right-hander, and there's nothing Sergios can do.
Behind. Will Sergios be able to stay as close?
I doubt it very much.
I doubt it as well. So that might be Triton getting P2 off Sergios.
Oh, he makes a mistake though.
That run didn't look good.
Yeah, he made a mistake in the left-hander.
Really aggressive on the curbs. If I was him, I would now just try to be as clean as possible on track limits and not push it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sergios made a mistake there in the hairpin, so he's lost a bunch of time.
He lost lots of time, but Yeah, the tires are 12 laps older and they are 2 compounds harder. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it was a matter of time, as you said, Ollie.
Yes. And we see Etney now on his 27th lap. These guys are on their 26th lap still. But for Etney, 5 laps to go. For Triton, when he crosses the finish line, there will be 5 laps to go, and it will be an extremely well-deserved second place. A very, very good drive from ItzTriton. Yeah, so far. We will try not to jinx it. Hatze gets himself a penalty down the order.
We objectively want him to be there, so we shouldn't. Nothing against other drivers, of course.
Just looking a little bit down the order, we got Briggy and Hugos reasonably close together on track. And is that, I think that's Etney in the background in the Sauber, coming up to lap the pair of them. So, Hugos gets it all wrong in the right-hander there. And Ocean Chief, I mean, despite his incident with Sergios, Ocean Chief having a very good race.
Hugos is off track in the in the left-hander before the bridge where the tire barriers.
Did he get it stopped before he hit the wall? That's the question.
He got it stopped before the wall. He just took the runoff, so
so not the end of the world.
Yeah, and he gets to keep P10. He, I think while Triton and Sergius were fighting it out, we missed Briggy taking the position away from Hugos, of course, because 5 for P2 was arguably
that was
more relevant to the race. So, yeah, Hugos in P10 and even P10 after that mistake, even though it cost him quite a lot. And now Please, who had his fair share of aggressive driving, is behind Tipsy Bob, and this is one of those irresistible
force meets immovable object type situations with Tipsy and Please here.
Exactly.
Because Tipsy's certainly not going to give him that P5, and Please is, I mean, we've seen him a couple of times already have some looks up the inside. He gets very, very close to the back of Tipsy. You can just see how much he wants to be as close as possible. Tipsy probably with his soft tires having to slow at the penultimate corner, and Please may... Okay, never mind. Please didn't get the best of runs, but I saw it lots of times that a car on all the tires doesn't get a good run. On the penultimate corner there's a lift off and the car behind just taps it his back. I wonder if Please is struggling with his tires here. He's really struggling to get the car turned in, and he should be much faster than Tipsy based on the age that their tires are at. So now he comes out of this right-hander. Tipsy
I wouldn't say
close enough. He's close enough.
But he should be arguably faster. He now moves to the inside.
Yeah.
But I think with penalties, I don't think Tipsy...
Oh, Tipsy! Almost into the wall! Wow, he got away with it. He did hit the wall with his rear tyre, but that's what you want to be hitting the wall with.
Oh my God!
Oh, he got away with it.
Giving me strokes.
New pair of underpants for Tipsy Bob. He
for me
really, and for Thimo too. Because my goodness, he was close to losing that 6th position.
You know, I'm 18 and my heart is already getting weak because of all of these moments here. Like, what are you doing to me, guys?
Yeah, it's...
Oh, and Hugos just concedes his point and drives it to the pits. A new pair of Ultra Softs.
Did
he? Really didn't have one.
He must have had damage.
He probably had, yes.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about that. So I think this is probably... I mean, there's 3 laps to go, and I wonder... I mean, Triton has 9-lap-old Ultra Softs, and Ultra Softs, I mean, they're not too bad after 9 laps, but they're not going to be in tremendous condition either. They're going to start to fall off in a couple of laps, and I wonder if Sergios can, as Triton gets himself a penalty, so I think that equalises the penalty situation now between Triton and Sergios. So I wonder if Sergios is going to be interested in this 2nd place again, because his tyres are going to be in considerably better shapes than Triton in a couple of laps at least. I mean, he's going to be on old tyres as well. I mean, those softs are 21 laps old at this point, but...
Oh, wait. I don't know if you mentioned it because it was...
Please has just pitted as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Please is pitted.
So Please coming out of the pit lane, and yeah, with 2 laps to go, that's an interesting decision. Not sure about that.
I don't quite understand it. And wait, probably a bug on my HUD. Did it give him 13 laps old Ultra Soft?
Yeah, because they will have been his... I mean, it makes sense, because they will have been the only set of ultras that he had, I guess.
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't count tires. I've got no idea. So
that's a weird decision then to pit and to go onto the used ultra softs. You want to be on pretty much anything else other than those tires. So yeah, not sure about that one. But I think he's still gonna get P9. I imagine he must have had damage. I mean, there's no other reason you'd pit there.
By the way, someone who has had a really good race and also a clean run apart from the incident, Sergio's, which probably wasn't his fault as well, is Ocean Chief. He's currently running in P7 just by picking up corpses and being consistent as ever.
Yep, absolutely. He's had, I mean, he's another one of those smooth drivers, and smooth driving around Singapore will get you a long way. Ocean Chief having a fantastic race. Despite being in that accident that we saw with Sergios, he's going to pick up some very, very good points today. Speaking of Sergios, 2 laps to go, and he is, I don't know if he's catching Triton, but he's certainly not losing ground to Triton, so this might be an interesting little, I mean, getting past, obviously catching one thing, getting past being another as well, but Triton is going to be feeling the pressure at least a little bit, and I wonder, I mean, just a penalty at this point for Triton would mean that Sergios will get that second place. Etni goes over the line to start his final lap, and once again it's been a dominating performance from the Sauber driver. We've seen a few of them this season, and we've seen another one here today. A fantastic drive. He's going to win by nearly a minute.
Yeah.
This is the battle for second, and yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem to be gaining too much, so I think probably Triton is okay, and I imagine Triton has probably backed down at least a little bit. Hugos does the fastest lap of the race.
What I said he should be doing now, just driving it slowly.
Yeah. Oh, and into the wall goes Danico and loses that 10th position, and oh, there's a traffic jam here. Clara and Hugo's both stuck. Clara is, I think, yeah, having to reverse. Hugo's gets himself a penalty for that as well, for the contact, and Danico in fact gets the 10th place back, but I think he's got serious damage, so I think he's going to lose that 10th place to Hugo's very soon, as Hugo's...
And Triton is about to lap that gaggle, of course.
Yeah, so that might play into the battle for P2 as well, as Triton gets him... I mean, surely that penalty for Triton. So Triton got a 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag and overtaking somebody. I assume that was a lap car, and I mean, that's a penalty that's going to be removed, I'm sure, if that was the case, because that's not a fair penalty. Etni wins the race, yeah, sorry, we haven't seen Etni at all, but he has won this race by a mile over these guys.
Yeah, Triton's penalty for sure will be removed.
So Ocean Chief crosses the line, a lap down. He overtook Clara, yeah, so that's it's going to be removed. Ocean Chief a lap down, finishes the race in P7, Briggy P8, Please P9. This is the battle for second, and I think Triton, I mean, we'll check the penalty situation at the end of the race, but disregarding the 5-second penalty that he just got, I think he is going to get this second place.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, this is even worse from the game than I expected. I mean, it's already stupid that you got the penalty for overtaking yellow flag cars, but you know, that's kinda a bad interpretation of the real life rules, but it's new to me that you aren't allowed to lap cars on the yellow flags who are crashed up. That's just completely that's absurd in my opinion, so for sure that will be taken off.
As we see Jesse spinning, and yeah, the standings do show Sergios ahead, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be reversed. So Triton gets himself P2, Sergios is going to finish third, Copy finishes fourth, not too far behind on penalty count back. Not too far behind the other two drivers, and Tipsy Bob crosses the line now. He's pretty happy with his P5. An excellent drive from Tipsy Bob, as it has been for a few other drivers in this race as well. Slash LP crosses the line. He comes sixth, and that finishes off our Singapore Grand Prix here today.
Triton, what the Triton just drove 1 meter below the circuit for me, and then suddenly dropped to the...
Oh dear.
Even further down, that looked really good coded.
So that's the end of the race then, and a fantastic drive as ever from Etni. He wins.
Yeah.
And second place will be Triton. So, with the result fresh in our minds, Thimo, driver of the day.
So there's two people I'm thinking about with one clear favorite. So one is Etney because he has got, wait a second for the penalties to go away, 56 seconds advantage and just won this race by an absolute mile. And not only by a mile, but about like 2 miles. I don't know how miles work, but it's the long way. So he did a really, really good job, and I think that should definitely be honored. But on the other hand, I'm kind of also rooting for Triton because he had a really good race as well. He managed to outfight Sergius in the end. Of course, Sergius had some trouble. And then maybe honorable mentions to Tipsy and maybe Ocean.
Yeah, I was going to say Ocean I think is more than an honorable mention for me. I think he's in the running because it really was a fantastic race, and with the bad luck as well of having hit Sergios's car when he was trying to overtake. Yeah,
also, of course, bans for asking nice on Steam.
Yeah, flattery will get you everywhere, but yeah, I don't know. I'm torn. I mean, yeah, obviously giving it to Etney, and Etney hasn't won one yet, so maybe he should get this one because it was a particularly dominating performance from him.
It really. Yeah, you could kind of argue if he doesn't get it for this race, how can he get one?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think there were. I mean, given that there were 3 standout drivers today, or 3 drivers who I think. On any other week, I think would have gotten driver of the day for their performance. Maybe we give it to all 3 of them. Should we do that? Can we do that?
That's how driver of the day works.
Can we not do that? Oh, there's Triton. Hey, Triton.
Hey guys, yeah. Did you guys get the explanation for the penalty? Or?
Yeah, you passed. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw it. Like, yeah, you passed a lap car, right? And so you got the penalty.
And because he and Hugo crashed or something.
Yeah.
And when I went past it, it gave me the penalty. As if it was.
Yeah, we've been working under the assumption that it would be removed.
No, yeah, I watched it. I watched it as well.
No, Bance is here as well. We got the crew in here. We're still live, but we're gonna.
Thanks everyone for that. My first podium.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, Triton. Very nice driving.
I think it was very close between you and me getting driver today.
I'd say Van.
That's true.
Don't we haven't decided, have we?
Well, yeah, we haven't decided. I mean, does it really have to be one person? I mean, I think
yes, it has to be.
Oh, it has to be one person. Okay.
I think
we have to break some hearts.
All right, guys.
Man.
Thanks again.
So I would go
Cheers,
either
Triton.
Etney or Triton.
Nicely done.
It is Triton indeed.
All right, let's
People are biased.
I'll give you the final call. I can't decide. I'll give you the final call.
Triton.
Are you actually doing this?
I kind of want to give it to Annie. For just a race that was insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think
perfect strategy.
The main argument would be
third on the ultras.
If he doesn't get it for this one.
Perfectly executed race, then how will he get it? Yeah,
it's completely perfect.
I kind of want to give it to. I kind of want to.
I kind of feel bad for Triton, but yeah, he got P2. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I would also give it to Etney.
All right.
How far ahead was Etney?
Etney's our driver of the day. 56 seconds.
Almost a minute.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
Yeah, he.
But Triton had a spectacular one.
And I think he lapped everyone up to 6th place, something like that.
Yeah, he was driving the Formula 1. And everyone else was Formula 1.5 today.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to do it for our broadcast, folks. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned tomorrow. Well, don't stay tuned, but tune in again tomorrow afternoon for the 2 SRL race. All 3 of us that are in the commentary box at the moment will be in that, in various different cars. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I think. I mean, obviously, Speedy struggled today, and I imagine he'll probably struggle again tomorrow. So it might be a little bit of a mix-up of the order. We'll see. But do join us for that one. And thank you very much for watching as ever. And yeah, next week is... Which one was... It is Sochi next week, right, Thimo?
It is Sochi.
It is Sochi, yes. All right, so yeah, join us for Sochi next week. Thanks all for watching. See you next time.